Así arrancamos este Día de Perros de una forma muy, muy especial. Es un proyecto que estará sonando en la Casa del Lago el día de mañana. Tiene esta canción llamada City in Darkness al lado de El Perro del Mar. Y es la faceta B, digamos, de un sujeto que ubicamos. Ya ha venido en varias ocasiones. Sorry to introduce you in Spanish, but...
All right.
Es Bjorn, que está en México con su proyecto Yttling Jazz. Welcome, how are you?
Good, thank you.
It's really nice having you in Mexico.
Oh, thank you.
Once again.
It's great being here. I was here last time, maybe 2018, so it's been a while.
Yeah, a while, and the world changed in all these years.
Certainly, but it still is a great city, I think.
Do you recognize at what time of the day do you introduce music in your daily plans?
9 o'clock usually. 9 a.m. because I just start working, I guess, so, or maybe earlier too, 8 if I'm lucky. Yeah.
Great. And also I feel that this project, although it's a different kind of music, it's also a different way to be healthy towards music, to be maybe more present in the music with the things that you have in your head. Does that feel for you?
I've been thinking about it a little bit. I think improvisation, which is a big part of jazz, and it's what you do when you write songs too. So I'm pretty. I go to a piano. I have a couple at home, and also in the studio, and I just write something, and that's what I basically do every day. So, or like pick up a guitar, I write something, and that's improvisation. And then, of course, when you if you play a jazz solo, you play usually with other people too, but it's sort of the same same room of the brain or whatever. Right. So it's sort of like, so I feel it's been maybe I become better at writing songs, maybe from jazz soloing, but also like I become better at jazz soloing from writing a lot of songs. So it's very, healthy in that way.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Do you remember what drew you to the jazz music?
I think envy. And
really,
and trying to be cool, and peer pressure.
That was the truth.
Yeah, you're 15, you start high school in Sweden, and you see people like my friend Magnus. He was playing with Herbie Hancock when he was 19 years old.
Wow.
And he was good even when he was 15 years old. So I was like, okay, you gotta step up here, Bjorn, and also if other people play, you want to play, then you have to play what they play. So I started, but I got into it a lot, listened a lot to Mingus and Monk and Duke Ellington and stuff like that. So that was definitely a good peer pressure this time.
Great. And now that you mentioned Sweden, it's a very musical place. We saw in that way from Mexico. And what's the best part of being in Sweden doing music? Do you think it's the right context to be inspired to create?
I think I like being in Sweden making music because there's not so many distractions. There's not so much to do like it is here in Mexico City. You can go and do like 10 things. That Sweden is more like I already had coffee, so now there's nothing else to do this day. So it's like let's make a song. So I think it's more like you're in the sort of mine of music, and there's no way out. You just have to dig, to get out. So if you're in LA or Mexico or maybe New York, there's hundreds of other things. So I think it's working working yourself out of your misery. Sort of thing.
And what drives you into this project? Because you do it very well with Peter, Bjorn, and John,
Yeah.
and maybe that something thrills you to go in another direction is amazing.
Thank you. Well, I did one album back in the day, 20 years ago, Yttling Jazz album, first album. And if I look back on that, it sounds the same. So it's not like I invented something new, it's just like I'm doing sort of the same. But the same is, apart from like making pop music, there's drums, but there's upright bass. I play more piano, so that's the basic of it. I don't want to like bring in so much like synthesizers and stuff in Yttling Jazz. I want to bring in more like horn players and vibraphone, and so I have a different frame for making songs. And also, when you don't make songs for singing, you can craft different type of melodies. So you can do more interesting, maybe more chromatic melodies, I would say. So I feel like if I have some stuff that doesn't really fit singing, it may fit like a saxophone or something. So that's different.
Great, and also it's amazing the way that you begin with this project, because it's like a blank path to follow. And do you have like some kind of references in terms of the way that you are gonna walk? Because there are no how do you say in maybe in marketing you call KPIs or limits. But how do you choose the way the path that you're gonna walk?
Yeah, that's a good question, because there's a lot of things you can do, and I love a lot of different sort of music, kinds of music. So you have to ask yourself what you want to sort of make, what kind of music you want to make, and what you want to hear. And I was like, maybe like if you take a little bit of krautrock and add that to like a jazz sound, you make it more like not so much like playing everywhere on the keyboard and you play like one note. That was a thing that I wanted to make. I've done it on a couple songs on the album for sure, and also film music like Morricone or Nino Rota, Fellini's film music, and Mingus is a no-brainer. That's just like great stuff. I'm not trying to emulate that, but some of the Duke Ellington stuff and earlier like Benny Goodman stuff, I think it's really interesting. It's very sort of black and white, and it's drums and then clarinet, and it's like it's not so much like 40 minutes of like vibing, so it's more like, in that sense, more like a pop song. So I've tried to bring in some old like big band ideas into my songs.
Great. Have you recognized the joy in this thing that you are doing right now? Because you're like discovering a new world, but maybe it's time to recognize the joy in doing this thing.
I think playing live with this band is really, really, really great and fun. And it's because when you have songs with lyrics and you're with Peter, Bjorn, and John, we're doing quite a lot of improvising too. But people might not notice it as well, because we're like faking that we know what we're doing. But in the jazz scenario, it's more like people expect it to be like very odd and sort of like different from. So there's more of a freedom for sure, and I can just point on like, you go to that chord and you shut up and you play more drums. It's like a head arrangement thing that you can do live on, and that's very liberating, I think.
That's great. Also, something that I enjoy a lot, it's the way that the jazz is being recorded nowadays. It's not the conventional way. Maybe you put it a microphone in another place, just experimenting something. Did you enjoy the way that you record these pieces?
I think if you listen to my songs, and so you can hear that I use sort of production technique from what I do when I record pop stuff. So I think also me having my own studio in Stockholm, Ingrid Studio, helps a lot because I can go in and do a session one day and then listen back and then like redo stuff or whatever, make a new session with the same song. Maybe people in jazz generally don't have the means to do that, so it's good to have your own studio. And I like to use the studio for an editing and like layering to get those like sounds that you just can't get if you just like go in and play whatever. So yeah, it's fun to experiment with that.
It's nice to have your own place, but it's also nice that you know how to use that place in the best way. No, that's also
we had that studio for 10 years now, and it was built 1971.
Wow.
So we had it so we have like our way of like miking up, and we know where to put the drums and the grand piano and the vibraphone. So it's but we can also change it up. But yeah, definitely nice to be on your home turf
and really know your place. That's great. Also, do you recognize this very particular instrument or must-have tool in this process of the record?
I think bass clarinet is a really cool instrument. Wow. That's got a raw sound that I love. And also I realized after recording a lot of songs that the vibraphone player, Matthias, he's one of the best vibraphone players I ever heard. But he also plays harmonica, chromatic harmonica, like Toots Thielemans or Stevie Wonder or something. So when I realized that and heard him play on a song, I was like, oh shit, we gotta record more of him. He's so good, you know. Like he's not gonna play live on this Saturday, but because he couldn't make it. But I love the sound of the harmonica. It's just so great.
That's great. And also, you just mentioned a very special part of this experience is the people that you perform with. How do you choose the people that will accompany you in this new experience?
I mean, I knew Fredrik I had on drums for a long time on the last record too. I love his drumming. I can really lock in with him. And Don Berglund, the bass player, he was in Esbjörn Svensson Trio, which is one of the biggest jazz artists from Sweden ever. And I actually had Esbjörn Svensson, the piano player, as my teacher in high school. So I've known Don for a long time, and he's just the best bass player I know. So that's a no-brainer. So I have him and Fredrik as a rhythm section. And then depending on who's available, I'll push different songs. If Goran Kaifes is playing trumpet, I do certain things. If some other guy would be able or not, then I'll do another song. So it's I like a lot of horn players, so I try to use some of them, on the record for sure.
Great, and we just listened this song with Sara with El Perro del Mar.
Yeah,
and when we listen that song, it's like the perfect match. But what does it take to get to collaborate or to have these also talented persons in your record?
I was because we're making this. It's an instrumental album, right? So I thought like making remixes would be easy. You just like easy for me. Someone put like vocals on them.
Okay.
And so we had Tallest Man on Earth. He did one first, and it just came out great. He just put vocals on, and I helped him out. We bounced it back and forth a little bit. Then we had Joshua Iden. He did a really cool remix version of this. And then I wanted something softer. So El Perro del Mar has always been, I always liked her music. And we even put out her record on Ingrid Records back in the day. And she's just great. So making a version like that, I don't know, just ask them and see if they're interested in there's some other collabs coming up too. So I think it's a cool side hustle
Yeah,
for me.
yeah, of course, of course. And how does it feel to listen to something that you create in another direction?
Oh no, it's fantastic to like you hear something that you would never have come up with that yourself. But it's like when you do a remix with someone, making a techno remix or something. It's just like it's always fantastic, like getting, I don't know, Songamin or whatever, who Errol Alkan, someone makes like a remix, back in the day. Was just like, it's always been a pleasure, I think, hearing their take on your own music.
And now that you are already ready to perform this album in Mexico, what's the main emotion that goes into your body?
um, Excitement, because we have a trumpet player, Tobias Wiklund, his name, and he's a very good trumpet player. I can say that with confidence, even though we're here in Mexico. You have great trumpet players here, but he started listening to Louis Armstrong when he was 7 years old, wow. And then he's great with the plunge, and he's got a great older style trumpet playing style. So he's never been with us, so I'm looking forward to that. And then we have the usual suspects too on on bass clarinet, and so it's gonna be fun.
And I understand that this is gonna be the first time that you play it in an international environment.
Yeah. I don't know I don't think there's gonna be really a big difference, but I'm glad it's here because you have a very great crowd here that's always like been supporting and nice. So I look forward to do that. And Saturday night at 7 or 6, I think it is. Or 5 maybe, I don't know, 5 p.m. It feels like a good time too,
of course,
to be in that park. So,
have you been there in Chapultepec?
I've been to the modern museum. Yeah, the sort of concrete museum was really great experience, I think.
That's the like the same vibe in Casa del Lago.
All right, okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be great. En Casa del Lago el próximo sábado en la tardecita en estos conciertos. So, Bjorn, it's really amazing to have you here.
Oh, thank you.
In Dia de Perros. And enjoy Mexico. Enjoy this performance.
Thank you so much.
And maybe can you choose like a perfect pairing to listen this record? Maybe something to drink, maybe something to eat, something to read, like a pair to get the same vibe of your record.
Oh, something. Okay. Maybe I'll just go for a Negroni.
Great. No, this is not available for people with problems with sugar, but
no.
But it's a nice drink. Perfecto. Bjorn, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Vamos a seguir con Día de Perros. Esta es parte del proyecto llamado Yttling Jazz y lo escuchan en DDP.